Hi there, Chantel here from Grounded Mind. How are you doing today? Happy Monday. So today I wanted to talk to you about acceptance. I have a naughty dog to my left, so please ignore her. I wanted to talk about the importance of acceptance against versus resistance, and why acceptance is what you need to get to in terms of healing. I know that with the symptoms, chronic fear and anxiety, and the symptoms that display physically in our bodies, that it can be really difficult when we're in kind of this fear loop and this kind of place of, why is this happening? I can feel it. It's doing my head in. I can't actually go through my day, and it becomes a frustration and irritation. And one of the things that keeps the fear there is the resistance and not the acceptance. And so obviously the resistance, if you can imagine pushing a ball down in, I don't know, a swimming pool or in the sea, you're pushing it down and all it wants to do is come back up because it doesn't want to go down, it wants to come back up. That is exactly what the symptoms do. They just want to come back up because you're resisting it, you're pushing it down. And so we need to just accept the symptoms and almost let go of the ball and see it next to us, floating next to us. And that's the state of mind which will help us to heal. I know how difficult it is. When I was at my worst state and I had the chronic vertigo and I was in and out of the doctors, not sure why, it didn't quite feel like the spinny room, but it felt like an unbalanced feeling, and in my head just didn't feel like it was in the right place. And I explained it as a kind of outer body feeling where my brain or my head was trying to catch up with itself, and everything around me just felt so in front of me, and I was so self-aware. Wherever I was, it felt like everybody was staring at me, and every movement that I was making didn't really seem to be right. And so I was conscious of what I was doing when I was out in public, and which is why I didn't go out in public. And then the amount of things I researched on Google, good old Dr. Google, and the support groups on social media, trying to speak to people like me and moan with them and hear their stories, and the scans that I went for, the medication that I took. I was just on this rampage of what's going on, this can't be right. And then the depression kicked in with just lying down and sitting there ruminating in my brain about my future and about work. How am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to go to work? How am I going to be part of a team? How am I going to do this presentation? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And it went on and on and on, and all I was doing was making a scared brain even more scared. My brain was terrified because I didn't accept that I had vestibular migraine. I didn't accept that I had these symptoms. I was fighting against it. I was pushing against it. I was resisting it. And so, I'm saying this to say that I understand the state and the mental state that a lot of you are in terms of the symptoms. And even when we try to accept it, we're not accepting it fully because we're still fearing how the sensations are in our daily lives, and we're trying to monitor it, but we're still monitoring the symptoms from a scared place. We're still looking at them from a scared brain. And so all of this is just creating fear, and all our brain wants to do is send out those signals because it's trying to protect us, because it's just reading what we are thinking and what we are doing. Our brains speak a completely different language to us, and it speaks a language of belief when it knows that you have accepted it, when it knows that you are calming yourself down, when it knows that you are doing those things which are the opposite of resistance. In psychology, it's called exposure therapy and response prevention. And a lot of people don't know how to apply acceptance to their lives. They don't know how to apply the things that they need to do to show their brains that they have accepted it. But the things we need to do are things like telling ourselves, okay, brain, I know that you're scared, and I know that you are sending signals to my head or to my chest. I know that you are sending these signals to my brain. I know that you're scared, but I'm okay, and You can stay there if you want. You can stay there, but I am okay. And it sounds silly us saying these things, but these things are really effective. And then also, when you are saying these things, you just breathe through it. Breathe. After you've done that, just breathe. Do some deep breathing. And hold. And exhale. Do that a few times. And then once you've done that, feel it. Feel what the sensations feel like. Feel what the anxiety feels like, what the vertigo feels like, the sensations in your head. What do they feel like? And almost accept the feeling of it being there. Accept what that sensation feels like. And then you carry on with your day, and bit by bit, not straight away, bit by bit, your brain will get the message. So it is important for us to experience life from a place of calm and from a place of acceptance. I've accepted these sensations. I've accepted that they're there, because at the end of the day, as I always say, the problem isn't the sensations, the problem is the fear and the anxiety and how we respond. So yes, I wanted to leave this with you today. Acceptance is important. Acceptance is important. If you're not accepting what you are going through, you need to get to that point of acceptance. And as I always say, if you need help along your journey, like I do with many clients, reach out to me and book in a 15-minute chat for free. We can talk through some sensations, talk to you, get to know each other, and we can take it from there. Have yourself a lovely day and take care. Bye bye.